And frankly, ma'am, this extended warranty, for someone driving in these city conditions, it practically pays for itself. Peace of mind. You understand. He leans back expansive. Gary, manager, name tag gleams under the fluorescent lights. White shirt too bright, smile wider. He gestures around the glass-walled office. Showroom floor buzzes just outside. Families drift between SUVs. Sales guys prowl like sharks in suits. A low hum of piped-in music, something trying too hard to be upbeat. My fingers rest on the glossy brochure. The numbers don't line up, not even close. He sees me looking, or thinks he does. That's the smart choice. Really, protect your investment. My investment. He says it like he's doing me a favor, like he discovered the concept. I just bought my first car here. Years ago, a little hatchback, felt like freedom. The salesman then, older guy, tired eyes, he actually listened. Shook my hand like he meant it. This feels different. This feels like performance art. Bad performance art. Gary taps the paper again, pointing at a highlighted figure, an inflated figure. We've already applied your loyalty discount. See, knocked a good chunk off. He slides another paper over. Finance options. Interest rates that make my eyes water. Pre-approved, he beams like it's a prize. I look from the paper to his face, hold his gaze a beat too long. His smile tightens just a fraction. The peace of mind, I say. It comes at quite a premium, doesn't it? He laughs, a short bark, not genuine. Quality costs, ma'am, always does, especially with these premium vehicles. This isn't your starter car anymore, right? He winks condescending warmth, like a pat on the head. A young couple wanders near the office window. Browsing a sedan, they glance in, look away quickly. The air feels thick, stale coffee and desperation. I slide the finance paper back towards him, gently. This rate isn't competitive, Gary. It's predatory. His smile vanishes, replaced by practiced concern, eyebrows knit. Predatory, that's strong language. This is based on standard credit assessment. We work with major lenders. It's all very transparent. He gestures vaguely, implying stacks of regulations he definitely follows. My credit score is excellent. I know what rates are available. This isn't that. He shifts in his seat, crosses his arms. The charm flickers, replaced by defensiveness. Well, perhaps there's some information mismatch. These things happen. The banks, you know, algorithms. He's blamming a ghost in the machine. Convenient. I tap the extended warranty brochure again. And this warranty, the price seems flexible, depending on the customer. His eyes narrow. What are you implying? Just asking for clarity. The initial quote online was substantially lower, before I walked in, before you assessed my city driving conditions. He leans forward now, hands flat on the desk. Dominance play, trying to reclaim the space. Look, Ms. Crockett, is it? We value your business, we do. But these are the numbers, they are what they are, we have processes, procedures. He emphasizes the last words, like they're shields. Processes that seem to inflate the price, by nearly 15% from your own website's estimate. A sharp inhale from somewhere behind me. The couple near the window is looking again, not pretending not to. Gary's face flushes slightly, a pink tide rising above his collar. Website estimates are just that, estimates. Market conditions fluctuate, dealer fees, prep costs, it's complex. He sounds rehearsed now, like he's given this speech before, many times. Complex or complicated, on purpose. His jaw clenches. He forces another smile, brittle this time. I assure you we are completely above board. Perhaps this particular vehicle isn't the right fit. We have other models, maybe something more aligned with your budget expectations. There it is, the soft insinuation, wrapped in faux helpfulness. My budget isn't the issue here, Gary. Your math is. His eyes flick past me, towards the showroom, a silent call for backup or just escape. The air crackles. The piped-in music feels ridiculously loud now, inappropriate. He takes a slow breath, tries to reset back to smooth. Okay, let's take a step back. What number would make you feel comfortable walking out of here with this car today? Let's see if we can make some magic happen. He picks up his pen, poised, ready to bargain, like this is a bazaar, not a business transaction based on agreed-upon terms. It's not about magic, it's about fairness. The price advertised, the rate deserved. No hidden extras presented as favors. He puts the pen down, slowly. The mask is slipping fast. I'm trying to help you, Ms. Crockett. Are you, or are you trying to maximize your commission based on assumptions you're making about me? Silence, thick, heavy. Even the music seems to falter. The couple outside the window aren't browsing anymore. They're watching. So is a salesman hovering near the entrance. Gary stares at me, his expression unreadable for a second, then it hardens. Okay, I think we're done here. He stands up abruptly, chair scrapes back on the tile. Is that your final offer? The inflated price, the predatory rate, and the suggestion that I can't afford it. I remain seated, my voice level, calm, cutting through the tension he created. He gestures towards the door, dismissively. If you're not serious about purchasing. Oh, I'm serious. I was serious when I booked the appointment. I was serious when I secured my own financing at half your rate. I was serious when I researched the fair market value, including reasonable dealer fees. His eyes widen slightly. The mention of pre-approved financing elsewhere hits a nerve. You didn't mention outside financing. You didn't ask, you just presented this. Assuming I wouldn't know better. Assuming I wouldn't check. Assuming I'd be so grateful for the opportunity to buy this car that I wouldn't look too closely at the details. He's speechless for the first time, just staring, mouth slightly open. The other salesman takes a tentative step closer to the office door, sensing the shift. The air feels different now, charged, the power dynamic tilting, palpably. I stand up slowly, gather my purse, my phone. This isn't a negotiation, Gary. It's an insult. His face contorts, anger, embarrassment, a flash of panic. Now, wait a minute. I hold up a hand, a quiet gesture, but it stops him cold. You didn't just try to overcharge me, you tried to diminish me, and you did it with a smile. I remember my grandfather, not the dealership guy, my actual grandfather, big hands calloused from work, always told me, some folks try to measure your wallet by the color of your skin or the sound of your voice. Don't let M, stand tall, speak clear. His voice in my head now, calm strength. Gary sputters, tries to regain control. That is absolutely not what happened. You're misinterpreting. My slow blink, deliberate, holding his frantic gaze. Am I? The silence stretches, uncomfortable, heavy. It hangs in the air between us, longer than it should, long enough for everyone watching to feel it. The couple outside exchanges a wide-eyed look. The other salesman shifts his weight, suddenly fascinated by his shoes. Gary looks trapped, cornered in his own glass box. The confident manager facade crumbling under the weight of simple, direct truth. He opens his mouth, closes it, swallows hard, the flush on his neck deepens. This whole interaction has been unproductive. He avoids my eyes now, looks at a spot on the wall just over my shoulder. Unproductive for you, perhaps. For me, it's been quite illuminating. I let that sit there, another pause loaded. He wants me to leave. He wants this to end. But he lost control of the ending the moment he decided condescension was a sales tactic. So the car, the one advertised online at the price listed, with standard non-inflated fees, is that available, or was that just bait? He looks cornered, his eyes dart around, seeking an escape hatch that isn't there. The specific model, inventory shifts, sometimes there are discrepancies. He's floundering, grasping at straws, trying to justify the unjustifiable. Discrepancies, is that what we're calling it now? I take a step towards the door, not rushing, calm, measured. He watches my every move, tense, waiting for an outburst that isn't coming. That's the thing he doesn't understand. The power isn't in the volume, it's in the clarity. Let me be very clear, Gary. I came here today prepared to buy a car, prepared to pay a fair price. prepared to be treated with respect. I pause at the door, turn back slightly. My voice drops a little, quiet, but it carries in the suddenly silent showroom. You failed on all counts, not just as a manager, but as a person. A gasp from somewhere nearby, soft but audible, the watching couple, another customer. Gary flinches as if struck, his face twists, a mask of professional outrage poorly worn. How dare you? I have been nothing but courteous. This is completely unprofessional. You come in here making accusations. Accusations. I stated facts, the numbers on your paper, the rate you offered, the assumptions you made. Those are facts. Your reaction, that's a choice. He points a trembling finger at me, losing it now. The charm utterly gone, replaced by raw, sputtering indignation. Get out of my dealership. We don't need your business. His voice is too loud. It cracks, echoes slightly in the cavernous space. More people are openly staring now. Phones might be subtly angled, impossible to tell for sure, but the feeling is there. This moment is being observed, recorded. I meet his angry glare. No fear, just a profound sense of disappointment and resolve. You're right about one thing, Gary. You don't need my business today, because you didn't earn it. Another slow blink, holding his gaze until he looks away first. He does, glancing desperately towards his salesman who looks horrified. This isn't just about a car anymore, it's about the casual disrespect. The assumption of ignorance, the belief that charm can camouflage deceit. It happens everywhere. In banks, in boardrooms, on showroom floors, people thinking they can size you up, put you in a box and squeeze you for a little extra, assuming you won't notice or won't fight back. I think about the times I didn't fight back, stayed silent, let it slide because it was easier, less confrontational. Each time felt like a tiny betrayal of myself, of my grandfather's advice, not today. I turn fully, face the open showroom, the faces watching me, curious, shocked, some nodding slightly, an unspoken understanding passing between strangers. My voice remains level, but it carries, intended for everyone. Just so everyone is clear, this dealership presented me with finance terms nearly double the market rate for my credit score, added excessive, unexplained fees, and attempted to pressure me into an overpriced warranty using misleading justifications. When challenged politely, the manager resorted to condescension and ultimately ejection. A murmur ripples through the onlookers, louder this time, a collective intake of breath. Gary behind me seems frozen, a statue of impotent rage. I start walking towards the main exit. Heels click softly on the polished floor, each step deliberate, measured. No one stops me, no one speaks. The silence is deafening, broken only by the relentless cheerfulness of the piped-in music, which now sounds obscene. As I reach the glass doors, pushed open by an automatic sensor, I pause one last time. Don't turn around, just speak clearly, loud enough to be heard back in the office. That wasn't a negotiation. That was attempted robbery with a smile. Then I walk out, into the bright afternoon sun. The heat hits my face. The sounds of the city rush in, horns honking, sirens in the distance, normal life. I take a deep breath. The air outside feels cleaner, lighter. My phone buzzes in my hand, then again and again. A rapid staccato, notifications piling up faster than I can check them. Someone definitely filmed it. The drive home is a blur, replaying the conversation, Gary's face shifting from smug to panicked. The silent judgment of the other customers, the weight of that final silence before I spoke. Did I handle it right? Could I have said more? Less? The self-doubt flickers, but beneath it, a steady current of certainty. I spoke the truth. Calmly, directly, that's all I could do. That had to be enough. Back in my apartment, the phone is practically vibrating off the table. Texts from friends, missed calls, social media notifications exploding. A short video clip is everywhere. Shaky phone footage, filmed through the glass office window. It starts mid-argument, captures Gary's escalating anger, my calm responses, the pointing finger, his final shout. My parting words hang in the air, clear as day. That wasn't a negotiation. That was attempted robbery with a smile. The caption on the original post, "Manager at Prestige Auto loses it when customer calls out shady practices. Watch till end." It has thousands of views already, climbing fast, hundreds of comments. OMG, the look on his face. She stayed so calm, queen energy. Dealerships always try this BS, good for her. Predatory lending is robbery with a smile. She nailed it. Gary the Gaslighter is trending, apparently. My stomach twists. This is bigger than I expected. Way bigger. The quiet confrontation in the glass box is now public property, analyzed, debated, meme-ified. A news alert pops up, local station. Viral video sparks outrage over car dealership tactics. They show a blurred snippet. Mention an unnamed customer and manager. Promise more at 11. I sink onto the couch, the adrenaline finally fatting, leaving behind a strange mix of exhaustion and vindication. It wasn't about going viral. It was about standing my ground. But maybe the viral part matters too. Maybe Gary needed that public mirror held up to his actions. Maybe the dealership did. Another buzz. A friend sends a screenshot from a community Facebook group. Someone claiming to be the couple from the showroom window confirms my account. Adds details about Gary's earlier smugness. Says they walked out too, didn't buy the sedan. The ripple effect starting already. This morning feels like a lifetime ago. Choosing the outfit, feeling excited about the new car, the potential. Now, potential feels different, weighted. The potential for change, maybe. The potential for backlash, definitely. I think about the assumptions Gary made. Based on what? My gender, my race, my perceived age, the fact that I walked in alone, a cocktail of casual biases served with a smile and a side of inflated fees. He saw a target, not a customer. An easy mark, not an informed buyer. That's the part that stings most. The disrespect hidden beneath the veneer of service. Remembering another time. A job interview. Years ago, the interviewer kept calling me articulate. Said it like a compliment, like he was surprised. The same feeling flooded back today in that office, that sense of being judged against a lowered expectation. Praised for clearing a bar they set somewhere near the floor, it's exhausting. The constant low hum of needing to prove them wrong just by existing, by being competent, by knowing your own worth and your own credit score. My phone rings. Unknown number, I hesitate. Let it go to voicemail, probably a reporter. Or maybe the dealership trying damage control. Or maybe Gary himself wanting to yell some more without an audience. No, let them leave a message. My voice is out there now. I said what needed saying, in the room where it mattered most. The echo is theirs to deal with. The comments keep scrolling. Some are supportive, some are angry at the dealership, some are sharing their own horror stories. A few defend Gary. She was probably difficult. There are always two sides. Maybe she misunderstood the financing. The usual deflection, minimization, but they're drowned out by the overwhelming tide, people recognizing the pattern, the slick talk, the pressure, the condescension. They've seen it, they've felt it. Then the hashtags start morphing. Hash dealership scam, hash know your rate, robbery with a smile, that last one is sticking. My words, bouncing around the digital world, taking on a life of their own. It's strange, sitting here, quiet apartment, city sounds outside, and somewhere online a firestorm is brewing, all from a moment of quiet refusal. A refusal to be played. A refusal to absorb the insult silently. A news anchor is talking on a morning show clip someone texted me. The incident captured on video has reignited debate about transparency and fairness in auto sales. They show the blurry clip again. Then cut to a consumer protection advocate talking about common dealer tricks. Doc fees, mandatory add-ons, yo-yo financing. My personal nightmare turned into a public service announcement. Prestige Auto's Facebook page is a war zone, torched in the reviews, comments disabled on their posts, their Yelp score plummeting. Someone found Gary's LinkedIn. Oh boy. He wasn't just a manager. He was the owner's son-in-law, nepotism adding another layer to the entitlement. Makes sense now. The untouchable confidence. The assumption he could act with impunity until he couldn't, until a shaky phone camera and a calm voice ripped the curtain down. A text from my mom. Saw something online. Are you okay, honey? Call me. Another from my best friend. Dude, you are iconic, buying you dinner. The reactions pour in. Friends, family, strangers, a weird mix of concern and celebration, like I survived something dangerous. Maybe I did, not physically dangerous, but that slow erosion of dignity, that feels dangerous too, in a different way. A local blog posts an article. The quiet takedown at Prestige Auto, why Jasmine Crockett's stand matters. It talks about microaggressions, implicit bias in sales, the power of composure. It uses my full name, so much for anonymity. But maybe that's okay too. Maybe owning the moment, the name, is part of the process. The dealership finally releases a statement, posted to their now battered social media, full of corporate speak. We regret the interaction did not meet our standards, committed to customer satisfaction. Investigating the incident fully. Value diversity and transparency. Generic, empty, avoids any real apology or accountability, doesn't mention Gary by name. The comments, before they're inevitably deleted or limited, are brutal. Translation, we regret getting caught. Did Gary write this? Same slimy feel. Your standard is the problem. Too little, too late. Robbery with a smile. They just don't get it, or they don't want to. It wasn't just an interaction. It was a symptom of a culture Gary embodied, a culture that assumes certain people can be pushed harder, deceived easier, dismissed quicker. I decide not to call Mom back just yet. Need a minute to breathe, to process the sheer scale of this. It's not just about me and Gary anymore. It's tapped into something bigger, a collective frustration, a shared experience of being underestimated, undervalued, or outright cheated by someone smiling in your face. Someone on TikTok stitched the video. They're lip-syncing my final line. Dramatic zoom, determined expression. It has 1 million views, 1 million, my words, someone else's face. The internet is a bizarre place. Another stitch uses Gary's sputtering, "Get out" moment, set to circus music, less flattering, but maybe just as cathartic for people watching. Podcasters are weighing in. True crime-adjacent shows discussing financial victimization. Business ethics podcasts analyzing the brand damage. Pop culture commentators debating the Karen V's calm clapback dynamic, thankfully landing mostly on the latter. They're dissecting my tone, my body language, the pauses, calling the silence weaponized. Maybe it was. Sometimes silence is the only way to make someone hear themselves. I remember being talked over in meetings early in my career, learning to just stop talking mid-sentence when interrupted. Let the interruption hang there, awkward, obvious, made the interrupter uncomfortable, made everyone else notice. It worked better than trying to shout over them. That same instinct kicked in with Gary. Let his aggression echo in the space he created. A former employee of the dealership posts anonymously on Reddit. Confirms this wasn't an isolated incident. Says Gary's tactics were encouraged. Describes pressure to upsell unnecessary services, especially to women and minorities. Claims high turnover because of the toxic environment. The post gets picked up by a journalist, verifying, digging deeper. This is snowballing, way beyond a single bad interaction. It's pulling back the curtain on systemic issues, the power imbalance in sales, the way bias can infect everyday transactions, the vulnerability consumers face. And the power they forget they have, the power to say no, the power to walk away, the power to speak up, calmly, clearly, truthfully. The dealership posts another statement. This one sounds more desperate. Announces Gary has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Still no real apology, still damage control. But it's a concession, a crack in the facade forced by the pressure, by the video, by the shared outrage, by the quiet refusal that sparked it all. My phone buzzes again. A different kind of notification, an email from a national consumer rights organization. They saw the news, they want to talk, not about the viral moment, about the practices, about potential action. Maybe this isn't just an echo, maybe it's a wave. The initial exhaustion is fading, replaced by something else. A quiet resolve, the same feeling I had walking out of that dealership, but amplified, magnified by the thousands of voices saying "me too," saying "thank you for speaking up," saying enough. It wasn't about winning an argument. It was about reclaiming dignity, asserting worth, demanding fairness, not just for me. For everyone who's ever been in that glass box, literal or metaphorical, facing someone who thinks they hold all the cards, hiding bias behind a smile. The online storm will eventually die down. The memes will fade. The headlines will change, but the ripple, maybe that continues. Maybe a few more people walk into negotiations feeling more informed, more empowered. Maybe a few more managers think twice before making assumptions. Maybe robbery with a smile becomes a shorthand for demanding better. I finally call my mom back, tell her I'm okay, more than okay, tell her about Grandpa's advice, how it echoed in my head. She cries a little, says he would be proud. I think he would be too, not because I went viral, but because I stood tall, spoke clear, and didn't let them measure my worth by their own skewed standards. The dealership, Prestige Auto, they'll survive or they won't. Doesn't really matter in the long run. What matters is the conversation that started, the awareness raised, the subtle shift in power when truth meets condescension and refuses to blink. I look at my reflection in the dark phone screen. Tired eyes, but steady, calm, the same calm I felt facing Gary. It wasn't an act, it was a choice, a hard-won peace. The peace of knowing you stood your ground, quietly, effectively, leaving behind not scorched earth but a stunned silence, and an echo that resonates, louder than any shout.